I was about 11 years old, I started giving people readings. Things that I don't necessarily believe in, but I want to know about. If they're not alone, their loved ones are always around them. When we die, we are not dead.
Are you ready to explore the unseen? From the depths of the soul to the vastness of the cosmos, we're diving into the extraordinary. Mediumship, astrology, spirituality, the paranormal, and more. Welcome to your bridge to the other side. Now join us as we unravel the mysteries of the universe, one question at a time, with your host, Kat Walker.
Hello, and welcome to your bridge to the other side. Today, we are interviewing our host and guide, Kat Walker, who will take on a journey of discovery of the paranormal world. As you'll soon discover, Kat has a fascinating story. Kat, tell us about your earliest experiences with psychic abilities and how you came to understand and embrace them.
Well, I'm a psychic medium, and that takes in a large range of different things. I think when people think of psychic mediums, they just think about somebody who's predicting the future. I do look at the future with the help of spirit, but even more so, I contact those that have crossed over to the other side. I also talk to whatever spirit guides you may have or whatever angels you may have around you. So it encompasses more than just predicting the future.
Did your friends and family react to your psychic abilities as a child and young adult, support you, or did you face any challenges or skepticism?
I guess I didn't know that I had it because I thought everybody else saw the world as I saw it. It wasn't probably till I was 4 or 5 years old when my grandmother discussed with me that I needed to start not discussing all the different beings I was seeing all the time. I didn't really quite understand why that was. I think my parents just thought I had a very active imagination. But when I got to school, I realized as they were talking to us about angels and things like that, and I was piping in various different things, I got sent to the principal's office for talking about imaginary things and things that couldn't be, and maybe sacrilegious things because it was a Catholic school. So I think it was at that point that I really realized that I was seeing the world completely differently than other people.
So, what was your childhood like?
Well, I think my friends and I were pretty mischievous. A lot of them wanted to dabble in this kind of realm with me because I was always contacting spirits, and we were fooling around as children, trying to talk to the various different spirits. And I had a lot of friends. I was never bullied because I saw things that other people didn't see. I don't know that people necessarily believed me when I was really little, but I believed me, and nobody really made a big issue of it, except for my grandmother, who kept telling me, you really need to start keeping some of these things to yourself.
So, you and your grandmother had this ability. Who else in your family had this ability?
I would say my mother has had it, though she didn't really lean into it very much. I know that she would be the first one to call me whenever there was an emergency I lived across the country. Whenever there was an emergency, she would instantly know and call me. I just think she didn't really lean into it very much. And my grandmother did. My daughter also has that ability as well to a degree, but she's a physician, so I think she uses it more as gut instinct with regard to what's going on with the patient.
Tell us about your professional background and how your experience influenced your decision to pursue a career as a psychic medium full-time.
Well, I was a psychotherapist for about 28 years. So this is what I took up when I quit being a psychotherapist. I came out of the closet, so to speak, much more. Previous to this, when I was about 11 years old, I started giving people readings, serious readings. Probably around 1980, people started coming to me and paying me for readings. So I've been doing it a really long time. Right now, this is pretty much mostly what I do. I travel a lot during this. I have people come and see me. I do shows. I do parties. I do big events.
Tell us about the different types of events or shows you do as a psychic medium, and perhaps share an experience that happened at a show.
Well, there are different kinds of shows. A show could be a venue where there will be a lot of different people who are different types of psychics or mediums or energy healers, that whole metaphysical realm. And I might just be one of many. Other kinds of shows I do, I might just be the only person who comes, and I might do what we call a gallery show, which is a large room of people, and I would just go throughout the room, and if somebody's relative or angel has a specific message for them, then they might come forward. Often during these shows, I also see a lot of pets that have passed. So a lot of people come to me to talk to me about the various pets that they've had that have passed. Usually I'll pick up on the pets before they do, though. Usually I will come to them and say, somebody in this part of the room, did you have a horse that passed fairly recently? And that happened to me this last weekend. And as a matter of fact, not only had the woman had a horse that had passed, she just had a tattoo of the horse put right here. And I was able to describe the horse to her and give her some messages from the horse about how the horse was put down and their life together and things like that. It was very healing for her. When you lose a pet's like losing a family member.
What do you believe is the most important message you deliver to people through your mediumship work?
Well, I feel like that there are a lot of people who need to know, first of all, that when we die, we are not dead, that our spirit or our soul goes on. And there are also a lot of people who have a lot of healing that they want to do with regard to somebody who may have passed. So I feel like my experience as a therapist as well has helped people a lot with the grieving process. Now, of course, people are always very interested in knowing what their future might be as well, and we can get into that as well. But I think the most important thing for people to know is that we are not just on this earth one and done, and we're just not dust when we're gone. And then also we can heal that relationship we had. Maybe there were some things that mom never told you before she passed that mom wants to tell you now. Because she realizes what mistakes she might have made, or she realizes you may not have understood things that happened, or you have something you want to say to her and get a response back. So I just feel like it's very important for people in their lives to be able to know that they're not alone. Their loved ones are always around them, and that we do go on, that we're not just going to be dirt.
What topics can listeners expect to learn about on your show?
Well, we're going to cover a lot of things that I do. We'll talk about psychic pet connections. We'll talk about getting in touch with our relatives, different types of energy beings like angels and spirit guides. We'll talk about how different ways of predicting the future, if you have gifts, different types of divination. But we're also going to talk about things that are not necessarily my specialties.
So I guess that means we'll have some special guests and experts on the show.
We'll have people who are experts in things like UFOs. We'll have energy healers on, who different types of energy healing, shamans. We will talk a lot about astrology. Although I'm not an astrologer, I think that the Creator gave us a great gift in the way He positioned the planets for us to understand ourselves and others, and how we can become better people through astrology. I think also we'll talk maybe about things like demonism, paranormal experiences. I know I've seen ghosts. Most mediums probably have seen ghosts. Different types of metaphysical events and things that are coming up, and different types of area of energy. I also want to get very much into where science is with a lot of what we're talking about, because science is now verifying the energy and vibrational frequencies that we get when we talk to spirit. And now they are able to prove some of the things. Some of the things we're going to talk about are things that aren't proven, or aren't proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, like a scientist would like to have. Say, for instance, UFOs. And some of the things we're getting to the point that we can really prove certain things. And so I'm really anxious to get some people from the scientific community on as well to explain some of the things that we talk about.
What are some of your current personal spiritual practices and studies? Are there any particular areas of interest that you're exploring right now?
Well, I have a lot of different interests. Right now, it seems like a lot of things are coming at me that I'm learning about. I think one thing that I'm very interested in would be something that others would call prayer, and I would call a prayer with intention, or an intention to manifest something very positive in the world. Very important. Now, some people might, in other areas, might call that a spell, and I would call it a prayer. So right now, I'm getting very interested in candles and candle intentions and manifestation through candles. I'm also getting very much into my own history of my own family, which is from Sicily. And I have fairly recently discovered that my grandmother and others are something called strega. And that is an Italian version of, I guess you would say, a mystic, or others. People like to throw terms around that I don't like the term witch, but a witch. So I'm very interested in those areas as well, as I'm still, even at my age, I'm still learning, and spirit keeps giving me more things to learn about, more things to bring to others. And I'm always going into the very positive realm, though, into the realm of how we get with the Creator and do see the divine in everybody, because the Creator created all of us, and we all have part of that energy in us. So those are the areas I'm really exploring right now.
Well, we're almost at the end of our time. How often are you planning to post, and what else would you like the audience to know?
Well, hopefully we're going to be doing this every week for 15 or 20 minutes, coming up with the subject and delving into it. And as the subjects become a little bit more dense, we'll probably do more than one episode on different subjects. So I'm really looking forward to bringing a lot of guests on, a lot of new information, things that I don't necessarily believe in, but I want to know about, and things that our participants, those of us who view us, want to know about too. So I'm really anxious to hear what the rest of our community wants to hear about, the rest of our viewing audience would like to hear about. And we're going to have a way for you to get in touch with us and subscribe and even get a free reading.
Thank you, Kat. We're looking forward to hearing more. Thank you, viewers, for your time. And please remember to subscribe so you'll know when new episodes are available.
We hope you found this episode of Your Bridge to the Other Side enlightening and insightful. Kat Walker appreciates you spending time with her, and as a token of her appreciation, she is offering a unique opportunity to 10 of the first 50 subscribers, a free 15-minute reading with Kat Walker. To enter, you must subscribe to our podcast. Next, email the date you subscribed, your full name, phone number, city and state, and your question. Send that to yourbridgetotheotherside@gmail.com. Again, that email address is yourbridgetotheotherside@gmail.com. This offer is limited to the first 50 subscribers and is only available to residents of the United States. You must be at least 18 years of age to enter. Don't miss out. Winners will be selected randomly and notified via email. To learn more about Kat Walker and her mediumship services, visit her website at katwalkermedium.com. Join us next time as we delve deeper into the fascinating world of mediumship, astrology, psychic abilities, spirituality, numerology, and more on Your Bridge to the Other Side.